Well, hey there, everybody. I hope you are enjoying your Friday. A lot of us have been waiting for the weekend to get here. Now, what I want to show you is an update on the tropics. So, there are a couple of things out there, and for one, we've got this broad area of low pressure, not well defined by any stretch of the imagination here, but over the next 5 days, a 30% shot that this becomes named, and it does indicate with some models that it could get a little bit close to the mid-Atlantic, but this is not likely going to become a hurricane. So I want to calm your fears on that one. Also, we are out of the woods here in the coastal empire in the low country. So this broad area of low pressure here could come on in and go really close to the mid-Atlantic. But again, not going to be a huge rainmaker by any stretch of the imagination. So before I go to the other interests in the tropics, I want to show you what's going on here elsewhere across the area. I hope you're enjoying your evening. It's been a pretty quiet one, not too much in the way of rainfall out here, a lot of rain offshore with just a few sprinkles inland, and it has been a very nice evening. Now tomorrow morning, I hope you get to sleep in and enjoy it, but if not, it's actually going to be a pretty comfortable morning out there with temperatures starting off in the lower 70s. So there's some good news for you guys. I appreciate you guys chiming in saying hello. I am filling in for Dave and Jamie today. So thanks for having me. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be on DNews at 11 as well. So if you guys are staying up late to watch that, but there we go. We've got those temperatures in the 70s in the morning. Hard to beat that. Unfortunately, for you folks that want some cooler air, it's not coming our way here for the next handful of days, with highs tomorrow once again near 90. So a big day Saturday, of course, everybody getting on out there on Saturday. Rain chance only 20% and the highs upper 80s, feeling, of course, as you know, in the lower 90s. So we'll be a bit on the warm and muggy side, but it's actually cooler than it has been the past a couple of weekends. So there's some good news. Heading out to the beaches, everything looking great there. Nice easterly breeze, water temperatures in the 80s, and a low risk for rip currents. Now, maybe you're actually going to get out on the water. Boats, everything looking good. Today actually was the day that maybe had the most potential for some choppiness out there, but looking good here as we go into the next handful of days. So that's your wave cast. But for those of you just joining in, going to give us a little bit of an indication of what's going on with this invest area that we're looking at over Bermuda. So right here, it's a very broad area of low pressure. In fact, there's actually some dry air that's getting wrapped into it now as well. And this thing's not even showing up well whatsoever on the excuse me, the satellite from earlier. So not a good circulation whatsoever, but still a 30% shot. This could again bring a little bit of rain to the mid-Atlantic if everything goes in its favor, and there's a lot that really has to go into its favor. But again, not expected to become a hurricane, and no need for us to worry here in Georgia or South Carolina, but some models bringing it a little bit closer to the mid-Atlantic. So something to watch, of course, but no major concern for us. This area of low pressure has kind of gotten its act together over the past 24 hours. Now, of course, this is far away from us, but we're watching it here. The Lesser Antilles, of course, as you know, and this would be the development area. It's shrinking, so a better idea of when this could actually become a named storm. Next up, we've got Kirk and then Leslie, and potentially this actually has the best chance over the next 2 days of becoming Kirk here. And this again, well there off to the east of the Lesser Antilles. So there's another area, and as you guys know, this is peak hurricane season. There are going to be tropical waves coming off of Africa, and here's the latest one that is now over the ocean. So it's not on land anymore. It's this area of thunderstorms that's over the ocean. Has the same chance as our other tropical wave friend over here that could become a tropical system within the next 5 days, a 60% shot as well. Worth mentioning, not worth spending a lot of time on. Over the next 5 days, there's a non-tropical low in the middle of the North Atlantic that has a 70% shot of becoming named. But I think if something gets named first, it's likely going to be this little invest area here. So that's what we're looking at as far as the tropics. Now, next 7 days, nothing for us to worry about whatsoever. Someone asking, Daniel asking, are we going to get some rain? That's a very good question. Chances not great for the weekend. I think Sunday's got a better shot than Saturday. There are going to be these onshore showers that are just pushing on in, very isolated, much like what we saw today. So if you guys were looking at the WTOC First Alert Weather app, your radar, or whatever radar you guys look at, there were a few showers that were moving on shore, moving on inland. Vidalia got a nice downpour in that area earlier today. But it's going to be like that. We name off a town or two that got a 15-20 minute downpour, and that's going to be it. So the majority of us this weekend missing out on those showers. So if you get one this weekend, consider yourself lucky. I'd go ahead and get the car washed this weekend because your chance of rain not great. But it does go up Monday. Coverage percent chance of rain definitely does go up. And then going into next week, it's going to be interesting. There's actually one front that's coming through that's actually not going to make it through here at the beginning of the week. It's going to stall off to our north, and that's actually what could push out that little invest by Bermuda, preventing it from coming closer to us, which is typically what happens as you get later in the hurricane season. Fronts will come on through and push things back out to the Atlantic if there's anything in the tropics. But then another front's going to try to make it through later in the week and could stall out once again. So these early fall, yes, it's almost fall season cold fronts don't typically make it all the way down to us through the low country into the coastal empire. So what they do is they'll stall out to the north. You'll see people talking about how it feels like fall for a couple of days, then it goes right back up to the 80s for where they are. So they don't really get that full fall effect either, but it is only September. But I will say for those of you that are looking for that fall-like weather, looking closer to October 1st-ish is kind of where it looks like we could take a turn to those high temperatures being closer to the 82 to 84 degree range with a front that could actually make it through. Obviously, there's a long way to go before that happens, and it would have to come through and not stall out to the north. But it's a decent chance. Some models agreeing on that, so it's something that's got my attention. As for a lot of rain, I don't see a lot in the forecast. In fact, we aren't expecting a ton here. You know, we're kind of getting out of that summertime pattern, but there will still be those isolated showers and thunderstorms. In fact, I'm looking at Monday in particular, the moisture content of the atmosphere really is going to be favorable for some heavy downpours that could institute some aerial flood advisories. So that's something to look ahead to, but nothing that you can really plan for because they will be definitely very isolated. So you guys are saying tropics are active. Tell Jamie hello. Sure will. And there's nothing that we're super worried about right now whatsoever. So there's some good news. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, your evening, Friday night. It's prime time and you guys are tuning in, so we appreciate that. Again, I'll be on the news at 11 with an update on those invest areas that I just showed you if you guys want to tune in for that. Also be in all weekend. If you guys have questions, shoot me a message. If you have weather questions, if you have an event that you want to forecast for, I'm your guy. Cutter, Dave, Jamie, Ron, we're here for you guys. So I'm going to leave it at that. Radar's looking quiet here for this evening. If you have those questions, you shoot them our way. And I hope that you guys will tune in to the news at 11.